Well, good morning everyone. Can I start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather and pay my respects to the elders past and present. Welcome to the very first North Queensland Economic Summit here in Cairns, Queensland. Thank you, Michael, for your opening remarks, and to our visitors, it was wonderful to meet so many of you last night. It was tremendous to talk to so many people who are excited about playing a part in the development of Northern Queensland. So once again, welcome as we get down to the business of giving you a special insight into current and future investment opportunities that this diverse region has to offer. I lead a government of vision. I lead a government that is determined to position Queensland as a world leader in opening new doors to create new industries and welcome new investment. It was a Labor government that created the $60 billion LNG industry, opening a brand new frontier for Queensland. And my government will now lead the way in developing and nurturing brand new industries in our great state of Queensland. We are determined to harness the best and brightest minds to take Queensland to the world. We are determined to develop a biofuels industry in this state, and I will touch on that a little bit later. It was my government which is determined to diversify our economy, and that is the major reason that you are all here today. From the outset, let me assure each and every one of you that my government is proudly pro-business and we are proudly pro-trade. Our doors will always be open to business. We will readily welcome your ideas, your projects and your investments, and we stand ready to back you in. We will do all we can to facilitate your operations here, be they new projects or expansion of existing ventures. Therefore, in order to capture the immediate opportunities this economic summit presents, more than half of my cabinet are present here today. Treasurer Curtis Pitt will follow me and will outline the strong economic case for investing in this region in which he was born and raised. The Deputy Premier, Jackie Trad, will discuss the government's $10 billion infrastructure program and detail what is in the pipeline for the north of this state. My Tourism Minister, Kate Jones, will promote the case for investing in industry that has long been one of North Queensland's greatest strengths. You will get an overview of resources in this state from Dr. Anthony Lynham, the Minister for State Development and the Minister for Natural Resources and Mines. Bill Byrne, my hard-working Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries, will provide an overview of the agribusiness sector that is such a vital component of our Queensland economy. And Leanne Enoch, the Minister for Housing and Public Works and the Minister for Science and Innovation, will detail the unprecedented levels of government support for innovation, especially when we talk about our $180 million Advanced Queensland initiative. I'm joined too by my Cabinet colleagues, the Minister assisting myself on North Queensland, Coralie O'Rourke, and the Minister for Ports, Energy and Water Supply, Mark Bailey, and Assistant Minister of State, Sterling Hinchcliffe. Local government MPs are also in attendance, so I thank Craig Crawford and Rob Pine for attending here today. Friends, I cannot stress enough how vital collaboration across all levels of government will be in maximising Northern Queensland's prosperity. So I'm pleased to see that we have all the mayors from our key centres right across from the north, all of them primed and ready to meet you. Today we will facilitate meetings, briefings and any discussions that you may have. My Minister's contributions will be supported by investor case studies that are examples of the breadth of successful projects driving the economy here in the north. This afternoon is given over to a new wave of future economic success stories, presentations of project-ready investment opportunities across infrastructure, tourism, resources, agriculture, aquaculture and research and innovation sectors. These opportunities range from expansion of the Port of Townsville to financial backing for Finfish Enterprise here in Cairns to commercialise its world-first successful breeding and farm venture, including the iconic coral trout. Tomorrow you will be out and about in this wonderful tropical playground visiting investment sites and experiencing world-class activities and tours, seeing firsthand what makes Northern Queensland one of the world's key destinations for investors and visitors alike. As well as attending the Northern Australian Business Forum in Singapore, I recently returned from a timely trade mission to China and Japan, our two largest trading partners. Over the years, we have built enduring, trusting relationships with these great nations, and I emphasise that my government wants to strengthen these ties. The bonds that we have forged over the decades will be a platform to launch other opportunities of long-lasting mutual benefit. Our early involvement with Asia centred on agribusiness and, of course, our rich mining resources sector, especially our abundance of coal. And those markets will continue to offer much for both sides, with Asia expected to make up half of global economic output by 2050. I hardly need to remind you all that we are among the lowest cost producers of so many essential commodities. But now the stage has been set to broaden our scope of engagement. Australia has successfully brokered free trade agreements with China, Japan and Korea, and hopefully India and Indonesia will follow in the not-too-distant future. There is too exciting prospect of the Trans-Pacific Partnership linking Australia trade and business with the United States and 10 other Pacific Rim nations, and possibly even more pending. Northern Queensland is geographically well placed to benefit greatly from these new free trade deals. With our dollar now settling around the 70 cents US mark, investing here is far more appealing than before. Queensland and Northern Queensland are in a transitional phase. We have reached a pivotal point in our development as we now continue to diversify our economy. Our prosperity can no longer rely solely on the broad shoulders of our miners and our farmers. While their endeavours will always be mainstays of our state's wealth, we must accept that change is coming in every single field of endeavour. We shouldn't fear this. In fact, this is a time of immense possibilities, and we must embrace it. We must seize the day and supercharge our efforts to broaden our trade and investment relationships to brand new levels. Where better to start than here in Northern Queensland, a dynamic region that so embodies the growing sense of community we share with our Asian neighbours. If you want to invest in Northern Australia, then Queensland is the place to start. Northern Queensland ticks every single box. We have a shared time zone with most of our partners. We have a highly competitive taxation environment. We have the lowest payroll tax rate in mainland Australia. We have a resilient workforce that is highly skilled, and we boast leading educational research facilities. And we are blessed with the abundant natural resources, fertile land, and a well-earned reputation as a clean, green, and reliable producer of high-value agricultural produce. The new free trade agreements, given the potential tariff reductions they contain, will ensure we have a competitive supplier of agricultural products. Benefits from the free trade agreements are expected to embrace value-added services and manufacturing, along with our knowledge and technical skills in developing farming equipment, mining technology, food production and services. We will continue to proactively promote the advantages and benefits of the new FTAs and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, especially that they offer this region in our state. We also have the biggest population base in the Northern Tropics. We have great export ports, the international airports and well-established infrastructure so necessary for expansion. Let me give you a few statistics. Queensland's merchandise exports have grown by nearly 16% over the year to August. Beef exports are up 33%. Our coal exports are up 10%. Queensland exported more than $9.2 billion in rural exports over the year to August. That is $5.5 billion in beef, $464 million in cotton, $1.2 billion in crops, including $237 million in chickpeas and $456 million in sorghum. Over this period, 49% of the allocated value of Queensland's overseas exports went through northern Queensland ports. Another area, friends, of immense opportunity in the north is, of course, tourism. The number of direct and daily flights to our north has greatly increased this year, giving further impetus to more two-way trade and tourism. Cairns welcomed its first Silk Air service earlier this year from Singapore, and in September Jetstar started flying its international service to Townsville, flying 3 times weekly to Bali. But we know we can do more. Today we are on the doorstep of the Great Barrier Reef. Last night we heard a wonderful presentation about investments in the tourism sector here in Queensland. We want to promote more because we know that we have not only some of the best natural attractions in the world on our doorstep here in Queensland, but we also have the great food and wine to go with it. We want to promote that to the rest of the world, and we want you to partner with the Queensland Government to do that. Friends, there are also other opportunities. While there are other avenues for investment in northern Queensland's food and agribusiness sectors in response to growing worldwide demand, there are a broad choice of further significant opportunities beyond the agricultural sector. I urge you to consider partnerships in projects such as roads, rail and ports. Infrastructure with the potential for attractive returns, including emerging areas such as purpose-built student accommodation, urban renewal and health and knowledge precincts. While we build on our traditional strengths, it is imperative we diversify into high-growth sectors. And speaking of diversification of our economy, I am determined to see a biofuels industry kickstart here in Queensland. I can confidently say to you a Queensland biofuels industry has the potential to be our next LNG industry. A joint Deloitte Access Economics and Queensland University of Technology study projected that by 2035, industrial bioproducts, the like of fuels, chemicals and plastics, could contribute $1.8 billion to Queensland's annual gross state product. Well over 6,500 full-time jobs could be the result. I've spoken about the interest from the US Navy powering their Pacific Fleet from northern Queensland biofuels, and now one of the world's biggest companies, Asahi, is involved as well. Asahi has patented a more efficient sugarcane process that aims to increase the yield of both sugar and ethanol. The Japanese conglomerate is now joining forces with the Queensland University of Technology and the biofuel plant in Mackay to progress that technology towards commercialisation. The Queensland Government and its partners have made significant investments in the sector and have laid the foundation for a flourishing biotechnology sector. Today, I'm pleased to announce that I'm releasing Queensland Biofuels 10-year roadmap, a consultation paper to help propel and maximise the opportunities of biotechnology. To ensure we get the settings right, my government wants to hear from industry and the community members, and consultation is essential to assist Queensland become part of the bio-boom happening globally. Opportunities will be created on new crops and intensive production systems such as algae. We must turn these opportunities into sustainable products, profits and jobs. A range of other materials that currently have limited commercial value, such as forestry and municipal waste, also have potential as feedstock for renewable fuel, plastics, feedstocks, cosmetics, chemicals and other bioproducts. Just like mining, not only do we have the natural resources, we are developing the technology and skills that can be sold to the world. Whatever investment opportunities you are looking for, I'm sure you will find them here in northern Queensland, and that's what we are doing here today. To match this new surge of opportunity with the investment to turn it into a reality. Governments must deliver the economic environment that combines strength with agility and vision, and that's exactly what my government is prepared to do. We are taking immediate action to inspire investment and deliver a prosperous future, determined to ignore traditional trade barriers and borders so we can form new alliances, capitalise on new opportunities and create new friendships. My government is driven by the need to encourage innovation and groundbreaking ideas. And as I said previously, one of the cornerstones of our budget and my government's agenda is my Advance Queensland initiative. Queensland's reputation for world-leading medical research, for example, is well-founded. Professor Ian Fraser and the Gardasil vaccine is a prime example of worldwide breakthrough. And QIMR Berghofer in Brisbane has developed another first, testing the effectiveness of potential malaria vaccines in collaboration with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. More funding for taking this research to a new level will be announced soon. In another very promising first, James Cook University, with campuses in Townsville and Cairns, has discovered a cancer-causing parasitic worm could assist patients supercharge a recovery from their wounds. JCU scientists found a growth factor from the Oriental liver fluke, which kills 26,000 people each year in Southeast Asia, can help wound healing and blood vessel growth. Advance Queensland is an investment in innovation, skills education, business development and the encouragement of a startup culture to deliver jobs of the future. Queensland has world-recognised expertise in areas such as medical science, biotechnology, robotics and tropics-related fields. We want to capitalise on this expertise, a direct investment in science and innovation to transform our science and technology expertise into commercial realities. And this is not just happening in Queensland, it's happening across the world. And we must be working together in partnership to make the most of these new-founded opportunities. My government has also announced a $40 million business development fund to help a whole new investment, new wave of startups. We will co-invest with industry on the advice of some of the state's best and brightest minds, up to $2.5 million if the business idea is right. That's indicative of the confidence we have in Queensland's emerging businesses. It's not just about the short-term shot of seed capital. The Business Development Fund is about growing a pool of angel investors. If we can show that our best ideas, our best innovations, our best discoveries are business-worthy, then that investment pool will grow. And that is why government is stepping in. We want to lead the way. Friends, today is an exciting day. Can I just say in conclusion that we are building on our strong relationships that we have established with China, Japan and other countries. Today is an opportunity for you to hear firsthand of the amazing opportunities that exist in northern Queensland. Today is a day where you have the opportunity to meet with my cabinet firsthand, to meet with the local mayors, to meet with local business, to look at investment-ready proposals and to invest directly in Queensland. By directly investing in Queensland, you will create jobs in Queensland. But we, in return, will show that willingness to work with you so that you can prosper and your companies can flourish. I know that by working together, great things can happen. There is no better place to invest in Queensland. Welcome to Cairns, enjoy the summit, and may our friendships and long-term experience be long-lasting legacies between us. Thank you for your friendship, thank you for coming today, and enjoy the first North Queensland Economic Summit. Thank you.